Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Pant pant. I was expecting a woof, but we will take a pant pant from Wolfie, starting the episode in wolf-tastic style. Happens to be episode 360. We can create an entire circle. A circle with how many episodes we have. That makes no sense whatsoever. I am speaking, of course, of 360 degrees of rotation, making an entire circle, but that really doesn't translate to the measurement of episodes. Regardless, we're continuing to walk here on Monday, June 2nd, 2014, and we're continuing to raise money for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com, up to $2,309.67. We've got some cents back. Somebody listened to me last episode and said, "Ooh, we've had round number." Ooh, excuse me, Wolfie. We've had round numbers, no cents, for quite a while, and somebody one-upped that and added 67 cents. Either that, or there was a currency conversion difference or something. Perhaps that's what happened. Regardless, thank you very much for all of those donations and continuing to donate even after we have already already raised over $260,000 for Child's Play charity over the course of Far Lands or Bust, the last 360 episodes. Well, technically less than that. We didn't start the Child's Play charity fundraiser until, gosh, when did we start that? Like episode 30 or something like that? What? Did that not go all the way down? Okay, yeah, it did. So yeah, about 300 episodes. Woo, bubble in the throat. So yeah, cool stuff. I do appreciate it, and let us continue on as we do. Last Friday, mixed things up a little bit and did an impromptu live stream. Those are, I should just, you know, if it's a KurtJMac live stream, it's probably impromptu. But yeah, I had ran out of ideas on what to record, and I also had to do a lot of work still on the Mindcrack server, so it became the mundane Mindcrack live stream. It would have been far more appropriate to do it on a Monday, so that it would be the Monday mundane Mindcrack live stream. But just did a lot of work on the Fermi Lab. Yeah, I suppose, I don't know, if you don't watch Mindcrack and you only watch Far Lands or Bust, what's wrong with you? No, but I'm building a local, as in local to the northern Illinois area, Chicagoland area, a local building, the Fermi Lab, Wilson Hall, very cool, kind of industrial-ish designed building that serves as kind of the focal point of the Fermi Lab place. Campus, I suppose you could call it a campus. It's where they have the Tivatron, which was, up until CERN was built, the largest super collider, particle accelerator collider thingamabob, searching for unlocking the mysteries of the physics universe around us. But yeah, it was replaced by, obviously, the CERN super collider, and it has actually been decommissioned as of last year or 2 years ago. It became decommissioned. The funding ran out and was not renewed. But there's still a lot of science and other awesome stuff happening there, and I just like the look of the building, and I feel like I'm not much of a builder in Minecraft, as you obviously know. All of the building I do here in Far Lands or Bust. So it helps to build something that already exists, that is inspired by. That way I really don't have to be creative. I really don't have to think too hard about what block goes where. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and there's a lot of mundane monotony on the Mindcrack server, sometimes on Mondays, and just a little bit of like an hour-and-a-half live stream prior to the upload of Far Lands Bust on Friday. I'd say I had a good time. I guess I always feel like when doing a live stream, I have to continually keep talking, like I do here in Far Lands or Bust. You'll find that I tend to talk more than your standard Let's Player, because this is more of a podcast, vlog type situation thing, where otherwise it would just be this. Which I don't think makes for the most compelling video. Perhaps there's a select audience who would enjoy that sort of thing, but I always feel like that's also the case, that I need to continually keep talking during live streams, and I kind of took a different approach by, first of all, I didn't promise anything magical. It was a mundane Mindcrack live stream, so there was a lot of, I just kind of was building, and every once in a while I would chime in and say, whoop, this is what I'm trying to do, or this or that or the other, or I'll take a quick glance at the chat, see if there was any question at the time that I could talk about, or a topic or whatever, and took it kind of easy, and yeah, that's the kind of live streaming I can get behind, so maybe we'll do a little bit more of that, since a lot of the building on that, the Wilson Hall is, we got 16 floors, 2 towers of pretty much mirror image. There's a lot of repetition that I don't know would completely be possible to include in YouTube episodes of the things. So make sure you check out, if you haven't already, my Twitch channel. Same thing here as YouTube, twitch.tv/KurtJMac. You can follow. I'll have to maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd want there's a new thing on Twitch where you can subscribe, and it deducts a monthly amount to subscribe to a channel, and you get some perks for subscribing to a particular channel, like not necessarily moderator status, but you get some sort of, additional chat abilities, and you get, different channels give different things, little icons that you can put in chat throughout Twitch and things like that, but I don't have that ability on my channel yet. I'm still hooked up to the old system, and yeah, I'm not sure, since I don't stream regularly, I'm not sure that would be fair to ask for people to subscribe and then be like, haha, I'm not going to stream for another 7 months. I hope your money is well spent. So yeah, that's the way that's going. And oh, speaking of like channel names, I keep seeing in the YouTube comments, people are freaking out. Don't freak out. It's a minor thing, but people are like, Kurt changed his YouTube channel name, because now sometimes videos show up as blah blah blah, Farlands or Bust episode 360 by Farlands or Bust instead of by KurtJMac. I've done nothing. I've done nothing with my YouTube channel. That is simply, for whatever reason, YouTube at some point in the past month or so made a change where it shows up that the channel name shows up as the channel title. That is the channel title. You go to youtube.com/KurtJMac. That still works, but it just shows on the top Farlands or Bust. And I'm assuming it's because I have yet. I am one of the last samurai holding out, and I've never integrated or cross-connected any sort of Google Plus thing or anything like that, and I'm assuming that's why there's probably going to be some wackiness related to the title of my YouTube channel, because I never did that. So yeah, nothing's changed. So sometimes people say, oh no, it still shows up as KurtJMac for me, or not, and nothing's changed. And even if I did change the name of my channel to Farlands or Busts, ooh, floating blades of grass, you are kind of confusing. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Interesting. X marks the spot. Oh, speaking of X, I saw X-Men. Hi. Whatever. Oh, Wolfie. Well, that's Wolfie would have none of that. Floating blades of grass. But yeah, that was pretty good. I didn't, how is that possible? Is that even possible? Aliens. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't know Wolfie could update blocks, but apparently he can. Your powers are growing, young Padawan. But yeah, I saw X-Men, the new X-Men, whatever the subtitle is, that's too long to remember. Thought it was good. Better than Godzilla, I'll say that much. Better than Godzilla, pretty good. Still very much at its very base level, is still very much your standard, and I mentioned this before, there is a standard superhero formula, and I know there's standard superhero comic book formula for like the storyline. This happens, that happens, everything seems dire and unfortunate. There's one bad guy who's trying to build XYZ to do this, that, or the other, and it turns against them, XYZ, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, there's still a formula there, but it was enjoyable. Good acting, good actors. There was some humor involved, as usual, and I'm spinning around 360 degrees for episode 360 here of Farlands of Bust. Anybody getting sick? Anybody getting sick? Anybody getting sick? Let's go to sleep. And X-Men-ness. How kind of you to deliver your wool directly to me. Whoops. I meant to do that. Boop, boop, boop. Thanks. Thanks, guy. Thanks. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. I haven't paid attention or seen too much in the news, as it were. I know right now, as I'm recording this, it's about a little bit past noon Central Time. There is some sort of Apple announcement conference thingamabob that's going on, that everybody is talking about on the Twitters and the Gizmodos and elsewheres. I couldn't be less interested. I mean, well, no, that's a correct use of that term. I could not be less interested. Gonna announce something, maybe no, they already did the tablets. What is this time gonna be? The laptops, new laptops or something, or maybe the watch. Everybody's, since they bought Beats by Dre, there was some picture of Dr. Dre with like 3 Apple executives, and all of the Apple executives conveniently had their left wrists covered as if they were wearing something that they did not want anybody to see. So there's a whole bunch of speculation that they're all testing out the new iWatch or whatever, and maybe that's what's going to get announced or not. I have no idea. Ooh, that pig just took some damage. Damage pig. Bedunk. But who cares? I certainly don't. I do care, however, about my Farlanders. That sounded weird. No, you're not my Farlanders. You're just Farlanders. I don't possess you. Farlanders who've donated to Child's Play charity, and the questions that they include in the comments that I talk about. This one from RockOn01000. I'm sorry, RockOn101000. Ooh, watch where you're walking, Kurt. Do you watch where you're walking, Kurt? No, do you... That would have been amazing if that was his question. Do you watch the Yogs Cast? If so, who? Do you watch small channels on YouTube? If so, who? Okay, I'm like, if so, who? It's the Yogs Cast. There's only one choice. You must be speaking... They've conglomerated into absorbing and naming a bunch of sub-channels, I guess, where they're all like Yogscast Hannah or Yogscast. I'm trying to think of who the other people are. Martin, I know in Littlewood is with the Yogscast, and Sips and other people. I don't subscribe. Whoa! Wait, Wolfie, sit. I must sit. I said sit. That's pretty crazy. That is a prime example of a space that I could easily accidentally fall into. So a little a seam, a zipper, and a shift, a tectonic plate boundary or something is going on right here. Neat. Snap. All right, let's grab Wolfie and kind of divert him around that. I don't know if he can fall down there. I'm assuming he can. He's only 1 block wide. But I watched the Yogs Cast, and honestly, there's a lot of these around here. And honestly, you know, the Yogs Cast are one of the first channels that I watched where I realized that they're doing YouTube full time. And, you know, it was kind of, I don't want to say, you know, there's plenty other inspirations, your X's adventures in Minecraft, your Ko's Quest and, you know, Etho and, you know, all these other people who kind of, you know, and majorly on the big side, Gavin is kind of the one who said, you know, you can make money through your YouTube videos if you know, apply for this partnership program. But yeah, Yogscast, I used to watch a lot of. They were kind of the first, at least in my mind, I'm sure I could be proven wrong about this, to take Minecraft and make it kind of a scripted show, I suppose, an adventure map. You know, there weren't that many, if any, adventure maps prior, you know, in those early days of Minecraft. Just, you know, they just started playing just as multiplayer was released, and they kind of turned their series into an adventure map, if you will. I'm speaking, of course, of the Shadow of Israfel, the now defunct Shadow of Israfel, which is fine. You know, it kind of ran its course and kind of outlived its welcome, in my opinion. But you know, that was kind of an interesting thing that I, you know, never really saw before, and it did kind of make me believe that, oh yeah, you know, Minecraft being such an open world game and creative and stuff like that, it could really be a stage for a narrative on YouTube, and perhaps that is one of the reasons why it is so successful with Let's Players, YouTubers, is that it doesn't preempt the personality or the story that the content creator, i.e. myself, i.e. the YouTuber, wants to make. And instead of, you know, when somebody plays Watch Dogs or Call of Duty, the game, it's still about the personality. That's still what draws one person to watch a video, a Call of Duty video from one Let's Player versus another. But the game itself is far more structured and drives, if you will, the story of the narrative of the YouTube series or video. As opposed to Minecraft is more of simply a stage, a background, a set, props, costumes and whatnot, and then the story is written by the YouTuber themselves. So I could have said that much more succinctly, but I chose to expand to an entire thesis. So yeah, I'd say that the Yogscast, definitely I watched them. Influential, absolutely. But I don't really watch them anymore. I don't watch any of the channels they've absorbed into their little. I don't quite understand the arrangement. They're with the game station or the Polaris, but they're also like their own network of Let's Players, I suppose, in a far more professional and contract limiting fashion than, say, Mindcrack is. Mindcrack was just a bunch of people who were like, hey, you're cool, let's hang out in video games and make videos about them, is kind of what Mindcrack is. There's no contracts or agreements or money changing hands or anything like that. But so yeah, I'm not quite sure what that's about. So yeah, I have watched the Yogscast, but not so much anymore. The last Yogscast I watched is actually they played, Simon and Lewis played our friend Brian, Lorgon111's bingo map. They played his bingo map. Since they don't play vanilla Minecraft ever anymore, it took them like 4 episodes in order to get a bingo. And I am a little bit disappointed they never gave a shout out. They didn't seem to. I mean, in the video description, they gave a link to the map, I believe, but they never in the video gave a shout out to Brian Lorgon111, which I don't know. I'm not. I understand their hesitation to say support or endorse, as it were, a channel that they might not know much about, but at the same time, they used his work. So yeah, I feel like that could have been a lot better for Brian, as far as him getting the attention he deserves for that map and his channel that he's been working on for such a long time. But regardless, that's about the last Yogscast video that I watched. Do I watch any smaller channels on YouTube? Of course, that's, you know, a lot of the best stuff is coming out of the smaller channels. Not only gaming channels, but vlog channels, science channels, just comedy channels and things like that. it's hard to say. You know, there's a lot of different channels out there, and again, I don't. I suppose you should just follow. Does it still share my likes? I don't know if it still shares my likes or not. I'll like videos that I watch and enjoy, as you should as well. If you're watching a YouTube video, especially all the way from beginning to end, and you didn't absolutely, it didn't ruin your life. That to me is the epitome of whether or not you should click the like button. Did this video ruin your life? It didn't. Then that means you should click like. So that's my my method for clicking like on a video. So yeah, I suppose if you watch my feed, I don't know if it still shares likes or not. I can't remember what happened. Maybe it doesn't because I didn't merge with Google Plus, and that disabled that ability on my channel. Who knows? But yeah, you can just watch those sort of things as to where my YouTube stuff goes. So yeah, it's not. I never once believed that YouTube is simply now exclusively big channels or say full-time YouTubers. You know, the reason it's so successful is because small YouTubers, such as myself, I was a small YouTuber for a long time, and even now, comparatively, I am on the lower half of the rankings as far as subscribers are concerned. You know, big YouTubers is 1 million and above, 2 million and above, and stuff like that. Really secure in their channels, as opposed to you know, if you're less than half a million these days is not necessarily the top of the cream that has risen to the top of the pot, or whatever cream does. Anyway, stop talking about cream and go to sleep. And awakeness. Woof. How are you doing for health, by the way? Boop. Oh, that actually... Boop. Alright, yeah, that did a lot. Yeah, and people are confused. I suppose nowadays, since there's so much other stuff to be doing in Minecraft, people don't tame dogs anymore. But yeah, you can tell the health of your dog, your wolf, by the angle at which his tail points. So if it's pointing down, much like a wild dog, then that means his health is low. Pointing up like that, that's full health, is at a slightly upward angle. So learn your Minecraft, folks. Learn it. Learn it. Let's see. Another question, this one from an anonymous donor. Kurt! Exclamation point. I wonder what you think about the digital currency Bitcoin. They talked about this a lot. The biggest ocean ever. They talked about this a lot on the Mindcrack podcast. I heard about it a long time ago, and perhaps I should have gotten in on the early wave of mining Bitcoin or whatever. I think I'd heard about it on Boing Boing years ago, but I don't know. I'm certainly not like against it. I do feel like there is a strange stigma related to it, since there have been a lot of high-profile cases where either the banks or the companies doing the, providing the mining services, or even, there's been reports of, what was it, a piece of software, or was it a video game that people installed, and behind the scenes it also installed a Bitcoin mining operation software that then... I should have looked this up beforehand, but it was an esports thing. Like, the people who signed up to participate in this esports competition needed to install this software in order to track their rankings or whatever, but it also installed some crazy Bitcoin mining thing that caused a whole big hubble-wubble. It's a technical term, legal term actually. So I feel at its heart it can be a good thing and useful, and I'm sure to some people it is, but it does have that stigma, and it fluctuates wildly. It was way up there and getting a lot of press on how high the price of a Bitcoin was, or however it works. But then one of these other news stories came out, and or somebody got hacked. One of the banks got hacked, and the price plummeted again. So, yeah, it's a strange endeavor, that's for sure. I'm not involved. I don't believe I ever would be. I'm not much of a speculative person or even gambler at all. Even, you know, my retirement account, I'm just like, okay, I'll put some money in there, whatever the maximum I can per year, and put it all in this very simple, you know, no fee thing that I have with my bank for making, you know, some money. It's one of those weird, strange things. I don't quite understand. This is getting away from Bitcoin and more about, say, the markets, the stock markets and whatnot, but I don't understand the stock market so much. It's like it's this thing that people seem to treat like it's some sort of force of nature or natural, you know, like the weather or something, yet it's... No, there's human beings who are controlling this situation, and we invented it. If there's a problem with it, perhaps we should fix it, or, you know, there's these inherent flaws and you know, loopholes and just craziness. Whoa, whoops. Got foggy here, Wolfie. I accidentally clicked F. God, how could you play like this? Yeah, Wolfie can. Yeah, he has poor depth perception. This is a cool area. Oh, look, you can see, sorry, segue, or not segue, but tangent. You can see how far off clouds are entities and not blocks, part of the terrain. So we can actually see that cloud because of the terrain jitter and how far off the selection box is, i.e. the floating point precision error. And at certain angles, you can see that cloud that you normally wouldn't be able to see because it's actually behind that cliff face there. Science! This is a cool area. This would be a lot of waterfalls. That one's a nice waterfall. It's a nice right angle. It'd be good to build some sort of castle into the side of there, but we will not be doing such things because we have a place to be and a place to go. The Farlands. The Farlands. Woohoo. Sorry. So yeah, in that regard, that I don't do anything with the stock market. Ow! Failure. I don't do anything stock market wise or speculative or gambling or lotteries. The worst. I don't pay attention to Bitcoin or anything at all. Oh my God, Wolfie, don't come down here! Don't come down here! Speculative. Ha, 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 ha. Wolfie, over here. Woo, ha. Oh, okay, Wolfie was like just having a fine old time over here. He was distracted by the sheep. Whew, gotta watch where I'm walking. Well done, Wolfie. You get a reward for avoiding certain doom there. Of course, you didn't help me out any, as I plummeted and took 1.5 hearts of damage. Dang it. Whew, that was scary. Huh, if there was lava down there, I'd be in some serious trouble. Some weird, strange whistle noise coming from between my teeth. So yeah, what was the question continues. Have you ever tried using them? Nope. Have you also, would you consider accepting Bitcoin for the Farlands of Bust charity? Child's Play charity in this regard. No and no, simply because it's not my system to decide. The widget on the homepage of Farlands or Bust and our method of receiving donations for Child's Play charity is actually directly from Child's Play charity. That is simply that's a system that is on childsplaycharity.org. It's a system that I simply set up myself as an organizer. Now I'm totally paranoid about every little pothole. As an organizer, and I say, okay, I'm creating this fundraiser. This is the goal or no goal. This is when I'm starting it. And then it spits out the little code that I can include on the website to make that widget, and it just tracks it itself. And then I get a little panel to see when donations come in and if somebody gives a comment or anything like that. So I don't believe, and I think this question might have come up at the PAX Prime panel for Child's Play charity that I attended. Somebody asked if they would consider taking other forms of payment or Bitcoin or whatever, and they said simply because they're such a small team, they're just 2 people there, and they really don't have the resources, and they'd rather use the resources they do have to towards their charity goals, obviously, as they said they have less than 5% overhead in their daily operations and whatnot, which is great for a charity, especially a global charity like them. That they wouldn't be adding any sort of Bitcoin, and I would agree with their stance. It's still a very tenuous David Tennant-ness, a very tenuous thing, and it's not really solid thing to really start basing your entire operation on. So that yeah, and I'm like I said, just like other things, I'm sure some people have seen success with it, and I know there was news about, somebody paid for a car with Bitcoin. And I'm sure that was a marketing thing from that dealership that, somebody bought a Ferrari with Bitcoin or whatever it was. I'm sure theoretically it could, it has the right concept, to kind of overcome the nationally owned currencies and exchange rates that are tied to this very fluctuating and hard to predict and flawed market system. I see the thought behind it. I don't quite understand the technicalities of it. I know it's based on encryption and you can like mine. Obviously, mining is like going through the encryption keys or unlocking encryption keys. It's very like algorithms and math. I don't even understand this whole Farlands thing and the floating point precision and 32-bit, 8-bit, blah 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 bit, and so I don't believe I'm ever going to understand the cryptocurrency stuff. And yeah, there's like the dog. How do you pronounce that? I always pronounce it Doge, Doge. The Dogecoin. That's what I say. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. It is kind of a cryptocurrency that takes itself less seriously, obviously, than Bitcoin. And they recently paid for a NASCAR sponsorship, and there's a car going around there. The Reddit, I suppose, the Dogecoin. That's totally not how you say it, is it? Everybody's gonna be correcting me in the comments. It's pronounced dog. It's just the spelling that's weird, Kurt. Gosh, is this your first day on the internet? Jeez. Oh man, this is the voice that I put all of you in. But yeah, there was a NASCAR that has the picture of that dog on it, and Reddit links and things like that I think is kind of cool. But yeah, some interesting questions. Perhaps I am not the expert for which to answer some of them. But I had fun anyway, and I hope you did too here on episode 360 of Farlands or Bust. Let's make our beds for the next day. Oops, I always do that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And another boat, since I didn't use a boat like the entire episode right there up till the end there. And I think we are all right. My boots took some damage. My helmet's damaged. When was I taking damage to my helmet? Craziness. Bumping my head on things. We're all right on torches and... Oh, I should... Yeah, let's eat. Let's heal up here. Beep, bop, boop. That's gluten-free bread. Gluten-free bread. Gluten. Boop. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Keep donating to Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com, as I described. No Bitcoin, but you can just use your standard real coin that you have in your bank coin. So you can use that, and that all helps to get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world. Great cause indeed. My name is Kurt. Woof, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.